Okay, we're going to solve more word problems today, but none of these have to do with perimeter, so we won't be adding up any sides of a rectangle today. All right, let's look at the first one. 474 tickets were sold for the school football game. Students bought 5 times as many tickets as the faculty did. Find the number of student and faculty tickets sold. Okay, so I always start off to the side defining my variables. We're trying to find the number of student and faculty tickets that were sold. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write down student and faculty because that's what I'm trying to figure out something about. In this sentence right here, students bought 5 times as many tickets as the faculty did. Do you know who's not described? Is it student or is it faculty? Students bought 5 times as many tickets as the faculty. Faculty is not described. They tell you all about the students. Students bought 5 times as many. So they tell you about the students, but they don't tell you about faculty. So whoever's not described, remember that's going to be the single letter. And once again, it's typically one of the last words of the sentence. Okay, do you see any switch words this time? More than, less than, subtracted from, fewer. No, we don't. Okay, so it says students bought 5 times as many tickets as the faculty. So students bought 5 times as many as the faculty. How do you think you could write 5 times as many as the faculty? 5F. Okay, and then we know that 474 tickets were sold total. So you take the number of student tickets that were bought, add it to the number of faculty tickets that were bought, and set it equal to 474 because that's the grand total of how many tickets were sold. So this problem has nothing to do with perimeter. That's why I'm not drawing a rectangle, and that's why I'm not adding up all the sides. So it's just student tickets sold plus faculty tickets sold equaling the grand total. All right, there's no parentheses, so I have nothing to distribute, but are there like terms on the left side or on the right side? Yep, there's like terms on the left side. What do you get if you add 5F plus F? You get 6F. So 6F equals 474. And then to get F by itself, what would you do? We would divide both sides by 6. Okay, I think that one's a good one for the calculator. So I am going to take 474 and divide by 6. And I get 79. So faculty is 79. Okay, so I'm going to come back up here to where I labeled the F, and there's 79. And then students are 5 times F. So 5 times F, which is 79. So let me take 5 times 79. So 5 times 79, and that's 395. So 395 tickets were sold. So if I was to label these, I would label them tickets. 395 student tickets and 79 faculty tickets. And that's my answer, and I'm done. All right, let's look at the next one. Trisha has 2 more than 5 times as many toe rings as Danny has. Together, they have 20 toe rings. How many does Trisha have? Okay, so toe rings were very popular when I was in college, and then they went away for a really long time. But in the last couple years, they've started making their way back a little bit. I don't know if they're super popular, but Trisha and Danny think they're very popular. All right, so I'm trying to figure out how many toe rings Trisha has. So I'm definitely going to write down Trisha's name, but I'm also going to write down Danny's name because this problem is about Danny and Trisha and how many toe rings they have. Okay, first I need to figure out who is not described. So let's see. Trisha has 2 more than 5 times as many toe rings as Danny has. Who's not described? Danny. They tell us all about Trisha. Trisha has 2 more than 5 times blah, blah, blah. Danny's barely mentioned. So Danny is going to be the single letter. So I'm going to let Danny be D. All right, now let's do Trisha. Now, do you see a switch word this time? More than, less than, subtracted from, fewer. Yep, more than. All right, so when you see those switch words, remember you start in the back of the sentence. So 5 times as many toe rings as Danny. 5 times as many toe rings as Danny. How do you think you'd write 5 times as many toe rings as Danny? 5D. Now work backwards. More than, that's your switch word, and more than means plus. Work backwards, and you see the 2. And now we have it. All right, it says together they have 20 toe rings. So that means the amount that Trisha has added to the amount Danny has makes 20. So Trisha's number of toe rings added to Danny's toe rings makes a total of 20 toe rings. Okay, there's no parentheses. Do you see any like terms on the left side or the right side? Yep, the left side, you can combine those D's. What do you get if you combine 5D plus D? 6D. Bring down the plus 2 and bring down the equals 20. Now what do you think you would do? Subtract the 2. Okay, so 2 minus 2 is 0. Shoop. Bring down that 6D. Bring down that equals. And then what's 20 minus 2? 18. Oops, I have too many equal signs here. Ah! Okay, now to get D by itself, what do you think you would do? Divide by 6. So I'm going to divide both sides by 6, and that makes 3. Okay, so we just solved for D, which is Danny. So I'm going to come up here to D and label that with a 3. And then Trisha is 5 times D, so 5 times our 3 plus 2. So what's 5 times 3? 15 plus 2, 17. And we're talking about toe rings. And it did say that they together have 20 toe rings, so if you add up the 17 and the 3, sure enough, that's the 20 they were talking about. Okay, let's look at this last one here. Dylan has 6 less than 4 times the amount of CDs that Ben has. If the two of them have 99 CDs total, how many does Dylan have? So who are we talking about? Dylan and Ben. Okay, so I'm going to define variables for Dylan and for Ben. So now we need to figure out who's not described. Let's read that first sentence. Dylan has 6 less than 4 times the amount of CDs that Ben has. Who is not described? Ben. It tells me all about Dylan. Dylan has 6 less than 4 times the amount. Mr. Ben, he's barely described, so he's going to be the single letter. So he's going to be B. Okay, do you see any switch words? Less than, more than, less than, subtracted from, fewer. So when you see those switch words, you start in the back. So 4 times the amount of CDs that Ben has. 4 times the amount Ben has. So 4B, go backwards, less than is subtraction. Go backwards in the 6. Okay, and then it says that the two of them have 99 CDs. So Dylan's amount added to Ben's amount makes 99. So Dylan added to Ben makes 99. All right, there's no parentheses, so nothing to distribute, anything to combine. Yep, the 4B and B. What do you get if you combine those? 5B. Bring down your minus 6. Bring down your equals 99. Now what do you think you would do? Add the 6. Yep, so to get rid of subtraction of 6, we do the opposite and add. That zeroes out. Shoop. Bring down your 5B. Bring down your equals. And then 99 plus 6 makes 105. Okay, and then to get B by itself, what do you think? Divide by 5. Okay, and if I divide by 5, do you know what that makes? 21. All right, and that is Ben. So I'm going to come up here to B and put 21. All right, Dylan takes 4 times B, so 4 times 21, and then take away 6. And if I take 4 times 21, that makes 84, and if I subtract 6, I get 78. And it said that together they have 99, so if you add 78 and 21, do you get 99? You sure do. So 21 CDs for Ben and 78 for Dylan. And that's our answer, and we're done. And that's it for this lesson. Smiley face.